Hello, my good viewers. Welcome back to this amazing talk show called Agnes Nkanya Show. I am your host, called Agnes Nkanya. Them that have been following this platform know that we started a new series of talking about my journey of uncovering my scars and regaining strength from those scars, walking with you along my journey of what I've gone through in my transition journey from one season to another up to where I am. It was inspired out of the many questions people have been asking me in the community, in the grassroots levels of Tharaka County. It was also inspired by the questions people have been asking me via inbox, via the messenger inboxes spaces. So I'm here to cover episode 3 of that same story. And I wished the transparency of my scars and the painful season of my life to become a bridge of healing for another person. I wish my story to become a voice of hope to another person who is in a similar kind of a season, or who is in a similar kind of a wounded season, to be able to know they can be able to rise again, they can be able to find light again, they can be able to heal and overcome pain, trauma, and overcome circumstances and situations of life. I also wish them that are in a similar kind of a season to know that you cannot clean a wound that you're not willing to uncover. If you have a wound in your life, you have to accept this wound. You have to accept that situation. You have to be willing to uncover that wound, clean it, and look for the right medication. Look for the right steps to be able to regain your strength. Your healing is more important, more than your image. And you cannot heal what you cannot acknowledge. So first you need to acknowledge the fact that if you're in a similar kind of a season, if you're going through pain, rejection, your job finished, you're grieving, whatever kind of pain it is, because people go through kind of different kind of pains. You've gone through accident. You need first to accept that situation, acknowledge it, and get to know better coping mechanisms which you can introduce to your life to be able to rise beyond that season, beyond that episode of your life. But before I take you through the story, I'm going to show you my look check for the day. I have a dress that is in black and white. These are it's looking like. Yeah, looking like this. And I have some sandals that are matching with the shoes. Also black and silver. So that's how it's looking like. And behind, it has a zip from downwards to upwards to the shoulders. Then, yeah, that's how I'm looking like for the day. So I'll keep tuned. Keep on here for you to learn on this my lessons for whatever I've gone through on episode 3. And it is also going to be the same introduction for episode 4, because the video is very long, and I'm putting in for 40 minutes and then the other one for 40 minutes. That now we can all of us be on the same page. Keep tuned here and keep it locked. Rise beyond that season, beyond that episode of your life. The last first episode, we talked about who I am, my professionalism, and what I'm currently doing in Tharaka County. The other thing I talked about is why I started my YouTube channel. The other question I answered was about, now in episode 2, we talked about why I moved from being a civil servant to getting into a political seat in 2022 campaigns. The other thing we talked about in episode 2 was how my upbringing has been like, what kind of a home I come from. And the third question that we are supposed to cover is why was I chased away from home? So that is the episode 3 that we're going to talk about today. And I'm here to welcome you all. Feel part of this story. It might not relate with you right now, but maybe it might relate with one of your family members. It might relate with your past seasons. It might relate with someone you know. So getting to hear how I've walked this journey, it can be able to inspire you to think differently. It can be able to inspire you to know how to rise above limitations and frustrations of life, and it will give you hope of knowing that you can overcome. The other thing I wish to emphasize is that since we are talking about why I was evicted from home by my parents, I wish to emphasize that family is not about normalizing abuse. Family is not about normalizing anger and unforgiveness. Family is not about normalizing bitterness and vengefulness. Family is not about competition. Family is about love. Family is about tolerance. Family is about forgiveness. Family is about teamwork and collaboration. It is not about always looking for issues to talk about and complain about. People come from different family backgrounds, and the unity of a family commands blessings, as the Bible says. But the moment you're divided, the moment you have issues and forgiveness, you're always fighting either between siblings or between the parents and the siblings, the unity and the growth of that family to become shaken, to become affected. The people in that family, whether they're siblings or the parents, their growth process will become limited because you've opened a door for the devil to be able to cash himself into your family, to be able to invest his arrows and investing more chaos and confusion in your family. But the moment you're united, the moment you easily forgive one another, the moment you're willing to tolerate one another, the moment you're willing to overcome issues of anger and bitterness and get back to peace, this family rises very fast. The members of that family, individuals, whatever they do prospers easily and very fast. That is one secret I've come to learn through my story. If you've watched so many things about a community, how the society grows, you will observe and see some families, they are always stagnated. Other families, they always shoot up and grow very fast. The secret to families growing, secret to societies growing, it is about forgiveness, it is about tolerance, it is about letting go of anger and bitterness, it is about letting go of always wanting to fighting one another. Obviously, having been brought up as different individuals in this world, we are all bound to disagree. We are all bound to have different kind of mindset. We are all bound to, in one moment or another, to have differences in different families. The thing is, I want to emphasize, you should not focus on the differences. You should not focus on the shortcomings of an individual. When someone wrongs you in a family, when you don't agree with their choices of life, there are people who disagree with you because you've chosen a certain path of life, either maybe career, they don't agree with your career, and then now they build an issue around that, and they infect everyone around you to now start seeing you as they see you. The others will start building issue about property, land, and inheritance. They don't want you to get part of the portion of what is being shared in that family. So when you raise a different opinion about that, they build an issue around that. Others will disagree about money sharing and opportunity sharing in the family. There are so many things that causes differences in a family, but the most important thing, wherever there are issues comes up, build a mindset of rising beyond that issue or that chaos. Don't want to invest your energy in prolonging that differences for so long, because the more you prolong these differences, the more you prolong these fights, the more the rest of the members of the families will be affected. You might be thinking it's one person you're trying to isolate, or you're trying to disassociate from, but the fact that you come from the same blood, it's like planting a tree, a mango tree, and then you find some mangoes when they are getting to the ripe season, some mangoes are getting ripe, others are getting rotten, but it comes from the same tree. For this mango tree to be able to produce more mangoes that are more fresh, the root cause of the environment where this mango tree has grown from, it has to be dealt with. The soil, the fertilizer, the environment of that tree. Is it the right seed? Such kind of things. The same things happens with families. So the moment you focus more on negative energies, the more you build disunity amongst yourself. So I'm going to get into episode 3 of the question that you people had asked me about. You people, the grassroots of Tharaka County, you asked me, why did your mother evict you from home? Why did your parents chase you away from home? As I told you in episode 2, when I was being born, allow me to take you back a little bit. When I was being born and I came to realize myself who I am, when I was a small baby, started there in class, maybe 1, 3, 4 there, I discovered my parents were always fighting. I've been brought up in a very highly domestic violent home, but they always show a different picture when they're in the society, when they go to church, when they go to family gatherings. They don't want people to know what has been happening in that home. So me being the firstborn, I've seen a lot of fighting in that home. And one thing I've been doing research about children who are born from domestic violent homes is that when you conceive your child in a domestic violent environment, the mother and the child bonding before the 9 months come, every time the man fights the woman, every time the woman gets angry, even the baby gets affected. So I was conceived in an environment where my mother and my dad were fighting now and then. And by the time I was being born, the atmosphere of my relationship with my mother already started getting affected from the womb. So as I was growing up, I started noticing so many differences of how we relate with one another. Like my self-esteem, she never used to validate me. She never used to approve of anything that I did. Any mistake that happened in that home, I was the first one to be blamed, even if I'm not the one who has committed that mistake. Anytime they have a difference with my dad, I was the one wa kutolewa hizo maasira. Anytime my brother and my sister wamekosea mahali, me being the firstborn, I was the one who was carrying the burdens of their mistakes. So having grown in this kind of atmosphere where I feel and see that I'm always sidelined, my voice is never heard. If I ask for an opinion about something, I'm never validated. And I couldn't change about it. I tried to talk to my mother about it, but she always brushed it off like it's a non-issue. So this thing about me being chased away from home, it didn't just start. It has been building up, slowly by slowly, building up stages by stages and levels of life until it matured to where a balloon cannot hold this pressure. And the pressure had to burst out, with her showing me her true reactions of how she feels about me. So that is what transpired about me being chased away from home. It started when we were in elections during the campaign period. As I told you, my parents never supported my idea of me getting into campaign. Initially, I went and I told them I seek their consent. And my father was very quick to accept my idea. He supported my ambitions, and he told me that he wishes me success. But my mother, the moment he saw my dad has joined my side, she was like, alikubali tu shingo upande. But as the moment went on by, her true colors came out. She started talking so negative about my ambitions, about my dreams, about me getting into the public eye. She discouraged me so much. She never said anything about it to be looking positive. But having been brought up in a family where I'm never validated, I was used to that. So I knew that I have to squeeze my way in and find my way out, no matter what. So I never let her opinion block me, but I was so determined to bear this burden that God put in my life so that it can be bared for generations of my time. So we went on, campaigns went on. But now it came a moment she started telling me I cannot get food from home. She's not willing to support me, feed from the house, get any kind of support. Even if I want to go to travel for a meeting, it is me who has to know how to maneuver myself. And I said it's okay. I kept on pushing and pushing and pushing. Elections were over, and the elections were over. And then she called me, she talked to me, she told me, now because you're jobless, you have no salary, you have nothing, you're doing nothing at home, get to know that your budget, what you eat, where you get soap from, what you survive with, it's none of my business. I'm not going to support you no more. I'll not give you food from this home. I'll not give you any soap. I'll not give you anything. And I was like, because the moment you come from campaigns, your energy are drained. I couldn't argue with her. I couldn't do much. I told her it's okay. So I moved on with my life. I carried on with my life without seeking any financial support from her, until it got to a moment I was so broke. I looked for jobs around in Chuka Town, in Dagani Market, in around Tharaka County. I could not find a job. Another thing that contributed for me not finding a job is because of the society's stigmatization. The society, when they see you with these big people, because I was in Kenya Kwanza, I was in the team of Ruto, campaigning for Ruto. I was in the team of Professor Kithure Kindike, campaigning for Kenya Kwanza. I was in the team of, I vied with a political seat that is owned by His Excellency Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindike, our deputy president. So he has a party called Devolution Party of Kenya. And through God gracing me to be in this party, I engaged so much into campaigning for Kenya Kwanza, for myself, and for the team of all along Kenya Kwanza. So all these moments, I went through that phase. And since people knew me from that side, they were like, siwa ndio mlikwanga na president. Siwa ndio mlikwanga na deputy president, Professor Kithure Kindike. Hawezi kosa kazi. Utaweza kufanya kazi hapa kwa boutique kweli? Utaweza kuuza duka kweli? I don't think utaweza kutoshea in this kind of an environment. And they just dismiss you just like that. Wewe, hawezi kosa pesa. Siwapigie simu. See, I saw you people with Governor Muthomi Njoki. So you call them and tell them to support you. That's how I used to be dismissed by people when I go looking for jobs. So this thing got a toll on me, and I decided to look just for any job that will come by. Nikatafuta kazi kila mahali nikakosa. So one day I was so hungry, I had no food in my house. And then mjengo started somewhere around where I was staying. Those times I used to stay in Dagani. My family has a home, second home there in Dagani, near Chuka University. So I used to operate from there. So me despite being there, my mom had told me she'll not be giving me food, she'll not be supporting me with anything. So I started looking for a source of pushing myself to be able to sustain my life. And I looked for a mjengo job. Yeah. Nikaenda nikatafuta kazi ya mjengo, nikakuwa casual laborers au mjengo. And I started doing that work. Around after second week, the third week, I took photos and I posted on my Facebook. And I told people, on the comment captions, I told them there have been asking me where I've been shifted to, because people were telling me wamesikia nimepata appointment to the county government of Tharaka-Nithi, I've been appointed as a CEO, as a CC. There were those kind of rumors. Every time I meet people on the road, they were like, congratulations for you, utakuja Harambee lini, tutafika Harambee mheshimiwa, mheshimiwa tuko na chata Harambee, that kind of thing. And the moment I tell them bado sijapata job, they were like, ni uongo, hiyo ni uongo, na kama hujapata basi bado inakuja. So to bring clarity and transparency about where I am and what I'm going through, I went and posted and told him, this is the situation that I am in. This is the current space that I'm working from. Them that have been asking me to go support them in church Harambees, in school fees Harambees. This is the kind of the new job that I'm doing. So no more questions. This is the transparency of all that. So when I told them that, my story started. It blew off. People started discussing about me. They took my post and started discussing me from all social media groups and all that. They talked so much about me, why I could not get a job, why I was not given an appointment, why I could not be given a return back to my previous job, or where I was working as a civil servant. All those discussions were going on. And it's where now mainstream media covered my story. My story went viral on Wero TV, Citizen TV, NTV, all radio stations. My story was written even in the newspaper of Nation Media. And let me tell you, I never knew the impact or the effect of your story going viral when you're in a low season. People talked about me. They talked about so many things. Now I became a topic to talk about for around 2 months in these social media streets, around town. Every time I go to town, people are like pointing fingers at me. Basi ni yule msichana niliona ukiongea ukisema ulikuwa mheshimiwa na hauna kazi. Those were the introductions I was meeting on the first instant when someone meets like this. Basi ni yule mheshimiwa mwenye alikuwa amevaa na chama ya Professor Kithure Kindiki. Mbona kupatii kazi? Those were the conversations I was meeting now and then when I go everywhere in town. And by that time, my support for my family is nowhere. The environment is so toxic. And it is then now when my mother started acting more weird, and she told me she cannot stand me in that home. So I used to go to, after the mjengo, the people came out so, how do I say it? The stories became too much. Even mwenye hiyo mjengo, the foreman, had to tell me to step aside because everybody is talking about me. Everybody is talking about Agnes Nkanya. mbona anafanya kazi kwa mjengo, mbona kupewa kazi. So that pressure it got into the system ya mwenye alikuwa anajenga hapo, the foreman, wakanifuta kazi. I have no job, I have no family support, and then now well-wishers, some good well-wishers came through for me. People have been following my story on Facebook. They came through for me and worked with me. So in this process of these well-wishers working with me, I started community work of helping people who are in vulnerable kind of situations, and I could help them come out of it. That is how Agnes Nkanya Foundation was born back into the community. So there was this issue about gender-based violence. There was a lady that was alikuwa amerushwa kwa mafuta ya moto. I got attention of her story. I started helping her and taking her to the hospital ili apate medication. So one day I was coming from attending to that lady. Nilikuwa nimempeleka hospitali general, and then now nikaenda nikampikia. I was going back to our home. As I was going back home, it was around 9:30, some minutes to 10. And then I put my hand inside the gate because our home has a big gate and it's always locked. I put my hand like this. I had the key. I went to unlock. Ish. On getting on the padlock, I found there was a different padlock. It was changed. I cannot be able to access it. I called my mom. She refused to pick up my call. I called my brother because my brother stays in the same homestead. I called him. I asked him, kwani mmechange padlock ya gate kwa nini na niko huku nje? Sikuja unifungulie. Akaniambia, no, it's not me. It's mom who has changed it. Na kwanza alikuja akatoa vitu zako zote kwa nyumba, akakufukuza huku kabisa. Amesema hataki kuona huku tena. That is now my brother. Can you imagine? Now that is now around 10. 10 ishafika. 10:30 there. I tried negotiating with my brother. He find a way venye anaweza ni sneak in. I sleep somewhere. He refused. So I ended up sleeping outside the whole of that night. And the following day, I went to the police station to report what happened. Yes. And they started an investigation. They started an investigation to follow out, to get to know the reality of the truth. And they saw, yeah, that my story was very genuine and it was very, very true. The fact that I slept outside the whole night on the cold alone, my mother never cared whether thugs could come and wanidunge kisu, ama could rape me, ama could do anything bad to me. She never cared about that. My dad too never cared. My brother never cared. And that dawning of sleeping outside meters away from your own home, they really affected me. But I had to learn how to overcome this kind of pains. One thing I've learned from my story is that what you cannot be able to control, just leave it. Sometimes these stories take a toll on me when I talk about them. It has taken me from 2022 after elections to think about coming out one-on-one talking about this. So it's a process. So let's continue. So after kwenda kwa police station, they opened a file and the accusation began. Me against accusing my parents for chasing me away from home, and I don't have somewhere to go. And I'm jobless and I'm not earning from any environment. That time I'm depressed from politics. I'm not on my own strength, but my mother never cared. So that is how I was chased away from home. So when this police case started, They opened a file and they told me your case is ready to go to court. You go and look for justice. Yeah, and in the process of all that, I used to pray a lot. I used to spend my free time going to church to pray, and I attend a church where we have so many prayer sessions within a week. We usually have prayer sessions on Wednesdays, on Fridays, and on Sundays. So I used to go there every Wednesday, every Friday to relieve my stress, to talk to God and find solutions. So as tukuwa tunafaa kwenda kotini like a day like tomorrow, the OCS called me over a talk. He told me, come to my office, we need to talk about your case. I have some wisdom and advice I want to tell you before you proceed to court tomorrow. But my advice is not the determinant of you whether you need to proceed to the court. It's just an advice I want to advise you, and then you decide whether you proceed with the case or not. Yeah, so I went. We spent almost the whole day in the office, him talking to me. He was so kind. The conversation was about his own experience. He has ever been in a vulnerable situation like I was. He married someone who was not, the parents were not agreeing to that, him marrying that person. So akachomewa nyumba, akafukuzwa kwa nyumbani. He was still a policeman by that time. He thought of taking over the case to court and all that. But someone advised him from his neighborhood to drop the case because those patterns will follow him with his children's children on fighting family battles forever. He told me after releasing the battle to God, the vengeance to God, that is how God was able to transform his life. He was escalated, he got trainings, he was able to get trainings, he went back to school, doors started opening up for himself, he was able to grow, and he became OCS. Out of letting God handle his battles, that is how God showed him mercy and opened greater doors for him. So I was like, what do I do with my case? I'm feeling a lot of pain. If I release this case, where do I even go to sleep? How do I sustain my life? All these questions kept lingering in my mind. But at the back of my mind, I was still remembering the things that were being taught in church about forgiveness, about letting go of anger and bitterness, how anger and vengefulness can stagnate your life. And I had also been listening to Apostle Joshua Selman, where he says that if you want to move to a new season, you'll meet battles. And the moment you don't release issues of anger from your heart, you'll get caged to more battles. Doors and arrows of battles will start being attracted to you, and your life will stagnate. Doors of more chaos, more accusation and condemnation of your life over your life will start being attracted to your life, and you get more crushed. So I started battling with my mind, starting asking, what do I do? And finally, I was able to go with the wisdom of OCS, and I overcame the issue of taking the case to court. So finally, I decided to let go the story. I went back the following day. I talked to OCS and told him, the advice that you gave me, I'm going to follow it, and I think it's going to make, it has changed me on how I'm viewing everything. It has changed my mind on how I'm perceiving things. I started perceiving things differently. So he told me, since you've decided to drop this case, we need to call your parents, that now we get to tell them of this new development. And my parents were called, and my mother came, my father never came. So we held another meeting on a different day. And my mom was very shocked because she knew me. When I come to following up issues on justice, I follow them to the latter. And she was like, oh, you've decided to drop the case. On what conditions are you dropping this case for? And I was like, I'm not dropping this case for any conditions. I told her that I'm dropping this case, leaving it to God. God will fight this battle for me. And I told her to, I don't demand anything from you. I don't demand anything from your properties and wealth. I'm not conditioning you on anything, but I just want to release my heart and let God to handle my life, let God to handle this battle. Because I told her, I feel that this battle is so heavy for me, and it's overwhelming me. I decided to leave it to God. And I told her, from this moment henceforth, I forgive you. I forgive Dad. I forgive you, my brother and my sister, and I let them free. She was very, very shocked because she never expected that. And the other thing I told her, and then now OCS took over the meeting. He said, if I've decided to make peace of letting go of that case, my mother was advised and given a condition that she goes initiate a conversation with my dad and the family members who are necessary to be put in that meeting. Nipewe mahali, I can be farming, nigawiwe my own shamba, I can be start farming, I can be planting on the planting seasons, I can plant something that can get me money to be able to stabilize my life. And because she has rental houses, she was advised to at least give me maybe 2-3 houses I be managing. Or she's helped me start a business so I can be able to get back on my feet. My mom was like, yes, that one I'll do, that one I'll do, that one I'll make it happen. And the funny thing is that after we came from all these things, she retracted, she refused, she changed, she never followed those advices. And the moment we withdrew the case, she was like, now you're on your own. Don't even come near my home to bother me or anything. So at the end, I was left homeless. I was left hopeless. I was left with a lot of challenges. And many of you, I know, they'll be asking me, where did you went from there? Where did you started sleeping from? How did you survive? I went to be sleeping from our church. Yes. I used to go there at night, sit down on those seats. Of course, there is no bed in the church. I used to go sit down the way I'm seated here and put my gospel music songs from the phone and go listen to those songs, go pray, go listen, pray, go listen, pray. When I get so dizzy, I just sleep on the seat just like this. And then when now morning comes, I didn't have a place to sleep. But luckily, as I was going to visit that person I'm telling you, she was the case of gender-based violence, I had carried a show, a big show. This is a Maasai. So I used to take this show ya Maasai, naenda na spread. Kuna, in those who live in Chuka Town, in Tharaka Nithi Chuka Town, they know a field called This is Ground. Picnic ground. There is a ground where there is grass that is well maintained by the county government of Tharaka Nithi County. So I used to go and spread my Maasai there and sleep until my sleep got used to get me up to mpaka saa 10. So when 5 reaches, and then I start seeing darkness, and I'm like, oh my goodness, where am I going to sleep again? What do I do? So I kept doing that. I kept doing that. I kept doing that. And one day I got tired. And I was like, God, what is the way forward? What do I do? And then an idea came into my mind. God gave me an idea. He told me, take a photo as you pray in the church and go to the Facebook, tell people your story. Tell people what you're going through. And from there, I'll send you a helper. As crazy as my idea seemed like, I never wanted to consult anybody. I never consulted my pastor. I never consulted any friend. But I just did exactly that. I prayed over that idea. I went to pray. I screenshot myself as I was praying in the church. I was always alone. And the following day, nikaenda mahali kuna wifi nikapost. Nikasema I've been sleeping outside for the last 1 month. That time 1 month ilikuwa imebakisha like 2 days. For the last 1 month, I've been trying to look for friends to help me. No one who wishes to understand my season. I've been looking for people to work with me in this season. No one wishes to understand me. I'm homeless. I'm jobless. I have no support system. I seek anyone who is willing to work with me, to hold my hand and give me a place to stay. Give me a place I can be able to rethink and rebuild my life from. And funny enough, after posting that post did not even stay for more than 3 days. The third day or the second day, someone called me, an angel. I usually call him an angel. God sent me an angel, and that angel gave me a home, gave me a house to stay. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? God works in mysterious ways. What I've come to learn from this story of mine is that when God sent you in an assignment of His kingdom, you'll be put through testing. And in this season of testing, you want to see whether your faith can be withered and whether you can bend the principles He has given you to preserve your faith so that He can open His blessings. I could have gone to do starting walking around in bars, looking for prostitution jobs, but it never clicked my mind. I could have moved from here to go and start doing drug and substance abuse, but God sustained me in that church alone as I was praying. I could have gone and started doing wash, and that moment when everybody had deserted me, but I stayed covered under God's grace. And that is where God met me. So He sent me a helper. I call him my destiny burden bearer. I'll not tell you his name for his privacy purposes until the day He'll give me a consent for making a video of acknowledging him with his names. But I know, because I know he will watch this video. I wish to say thank you so much for holding my hands in the moment when no one else believed in me. I wish to say thank you so much for holding my hands, for giving me a place to stay, for giving me a house. And may God bless you. May you never lack. May you never know shame. May you never see struggles for the generations of your life. May you never see any difficulty in rising up. Keep rising up. May God keep opening more doors for properties, for owning properties. May God keep opening more doors for you to keep shining and holding other people's hands. May God open more doors for you to shine beyond your expectations. In this world, I've come to learn there are good people, and at the same time, there are bad people. And in this learning, I learned through, after now, my family chased me away from home. So that is what happened. So the other question people have been asking me, what are the effects after my parents chased me away from home? What are the effects? How did I get affected? People have been asking me this kind of. So I choose to embrace this season that I am in, but to put more effort into coming out of this season to my season of harvest, to my season of reward, to my season of restoration, because I know I'm not going to remain here for a very long time. That's why I decided to document this season, so that when I come out of this season, it will act as a point of reference for God's name to be glorified. It will act as a point of reference for someone's faith to be uplifted, them that will have lost their faith. When I tell them of my testimony, when I tell them what I've been able to overcome, they can be coming to these videos and watch and learn and believe that truly God can uplift, truly God can change stories. So thank you so much for them that have been watching our platform since I started uploading these videos. It is with love. It is with much love. I say thank you. It is with much love. I appreciate your support for them that have been watching. The new subscribers that are coming on board, I also appreciate you so much. And it is with, I come to say, that is thank you for everyone that is subscribing, for everyone that is watching, that for everyone that is sharing my videos. I love you. I appreciate you. You mean so much to my transition journey. You're giving me hope. You're giving me strength. You're giving me love that I'm not able to get from my own family. Having someone to interact with from the other end, it gives me hope that that I'm still valuable, that there is light in me to shine for the world, that there is a light in me, as the Bible says, that I'm the light of the world, a city set on a hill that cannot be hidden. Let my light so shine before all men, that they may see the good works in me and glorify you, God. It gives hope in me to know that I'm a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, that I've been set apart from every challenge. I've been set apart from every pain. I've been set apart from every frustration. I've been set apart from every limitation. I've been set apart from every hindrance, every curses, to prosper, to bear notable fruits, to be established, and to become a blessing to generations of my time. Those who view my videos, they give me also hope to know that things are going to be better, that I'm not alone in this journey. You might not know the value of how much you make me feel re-energized. So your views, your sharing, your subscribing gives me a lot of energy, a lot of strength. So keep viewing, keep sharing my videos widely. Let's connect, let's build each other, let's change our society together, let's transform lives together. I love you so much for them that will stick up to the end. And bye-bye. Let's meet on the next episode of Unstacking My Life from Season of Pain, Unstacking My Life from Season of Scars to my Season of Purpose. So the next episode, we will deal with the question about whether I will ever forgive my parents and go back home. The other question is about, did I have any savings after elections? And how am I financing my personal life in day-to-day basis? So that one is what you're going to handle in episode 5 and episode 6. So keep it locked here for you to get more update of my journey, for you to learn something, for you to get to be inspired to think differently. Keep it tuned here and keep it locked here at Agnes Nkanya Show, where we are transforming lives, where we are inspiring lives, where we are building positive energy. Bye-bye.